Hey, what's up folks? Em here, and today I'd like to express my opinions and theories and analyse about the Splatoon 3 expansion pass. Without further ado, let's get started. So, as we know already, we will be getting the Splatoon 1 Plaza Inkopolis back, and I like this a lot. I like this because it's nostalgic for some and new for others. Not everyone was able to play Splatoon 1, so having the ability to go back to Inkopolis is great. It is delightful to see returning characters again like Annie, Jalonzo and Spike. I love Annie's new look. She seems to have a gothic style, but at the same time, she is the same shy person. And Spike's look is elegant. He seems like he's done well for himself from his get-rich-quick scheme guide he made during the period of Splatoon 2. This might be an unpopular take, but I really do like Spike's beard. Is that just me? Irrelevant, but did anyone notice the bobble hat? Bobble hats are back and I'm extremely happy about that. I love them a lot. Anyways, having the ability to visit Inkopolis when it's Splatfest looks fire. I personally didn't participate in any Splatoon 1 Splatfests, mainly because I didn't have the game at the time. We don't count the time in 2018 when I briefly hacked my Wii U to join a fan-made Splatfest, but that's besides the point. So the only main experience I see in the plaza during Splatfest is through the Callie and Marie amiibos. From what I've seen during the announcement, Inkopolis has more light to it and is less dull. I enjoy that because there are more vibrant colours to it, and that's definitely because of the hardware differences from the Wii U to the Switch. It's also cool to hear the City of Colour again, except Callie and Marie's vocals are slightly different due to the time period they are in game, as they age as well.
The first wave of this paid DLC launches this spring.
There's a tiny small detail which is interesting. We're still not done talking about Inkopolis yet. I haven't discussed a few adjustments made to it. I only spoke about the main returning things so far. The first difference we saw was the train station. In Splatoon 1, you could never access it since it was blocked off by a wall. I mean, there was a way which was a funny out of bounds trick which had no purpose and no value. I have never pulled that off myself, but there's probably clips of it online. Obviously, that station has a use now, so you can access Splatsville. I don't think many would want to be stranded in Inkopolis for the rest of their days. I mean, sure, go for it if you want. Moving over to another difference is the Shoal. The Shoal has took over the building where the Battle Dojo used to be. The Battle Dojo was a local minigame which required the gamepad and a Wii U Pro controller strapped to a Wii remote. It was sort of janky. The mode wasn't grand. It's highly understandable why the dojo is gone, because it's the Switch. The Switch has local play with other nearby Switches for private matches or salmon run. This is certainly better. So in Splatoon 1 there was always this building that was abandoned and had no use by the arcade machine. We'll talk about the arcade machine shortly, by the way. This building now has a use in Splatoon 3, and of course it's Salmon Run. Salmon Run was first introduced in Splatoon 2, so for obvious reasons it didn't exist in the first game. It's neat to have access to Salmon Run in Inkopolis, so you aren't forced to head back to Splatsville just to access it from there in case you'd like to walk to the building. I like the exterior for the Salmon Run building in Inkopolis because it still has that Splatoon 1 charm to it. I'm glad they kept that vibe. By the way, before I briefly mention the arcade machine, the location for it has moved a bit to the left, but at this time it's unclear whether we can use the machine or not. It looks like it has chains wrapped around, but I really hope this doesn't mean we can't use it. I really want to play Squid Jump, Squid Racer, Squid Ball, and Squid Beats on it. Please Nintendo, don't ruin it. Oh, and if you aren't familiar with those games, you used to be able to play those on the gamepad whilst waiting for matches or just for fun in the hub. Although Squid Racer, Squid Ball, and Squid Beats were locked to amiibos in Splatoon 1. Hopefully that won't be the case in Splatoon 3 if we have access to play them again, but we'll see. Oh, and I forgot to mention this earlier, but the original Amiibo box is back again and it's in the same location with, I believe, 0 changes. In Inkopolis, you can also access Table Turf, which is good, so you aren't, once again, forced to go back to Splatsville just to play that, thankfully. Also, I really like the look of Shelly and Donnie. These two are new characters to replace Sheldon since he's now working in Splatsville and not Inkopolis. These two are really cute. I'm not sure what they are at the moment. They're definitely not his children, I don't think, unless, I don't know. But they make a good substitute for the weapon shop. At least I think so. Let's not forget about Fredcrumbs. Fredcrumbs is the new shopkeeper of the shoe shop in Inkopolis. This dude replaces Krusty Sean since Krusty Sean is on a trip within the Splatnet app. I'm so sorry they did this to you, Krusty Sean. But it looks like they have to replace you. I miss you. This is one of the last points I'd like to mention, but near Inkopolis Tower, where you'd have access to the lobby, there was a manhole which had access to the single player story mode. In the DLC, this may be blocked off by some bin bags. I don't know, it's hard to tell. I mean, it would have been cool to replay the Splatoon 1 story mode within Splatoon 3, but I understand why if it's blocked off. Let's face it, we're like 7 years into the future since those events, so it adds up. Okay, so we're almost done chatting about Inkopolis. I thought the story mode would have been my final point, but not just yet. In the announcement, it's unclear if we can access the lobby in Inkopolis Tower or not. They never showed this. My best bet with all these unanswered questions, they would include some hints within either Splatoon JP's Twitter or the upcoming Splatoon 3 Season 3 trailer since Season 3 is close. At last, with Inkopolis being fully discussed, let's move over to the next wave they teased. During the announcement of the expansion pass, they didn't only just mention the bonus of Inkopolis. Oh no. We saw a very small teaser of Wave 2, which is known as Side Order. This will be a single player campaign and it has something to do with the events of the aftermath from the final Splatfest in Splatoon 2, Chaos vs Order. Looking at it, it seems like we may have to restore order for this Octoling. I do think it's not set in the past, but rather in the present day. The first shot we see is a white-coated Inkopolis square, and I believe the whiteness is caused by bleached coral. It's almost the exact same with a few tweaks like extra coral to replace some trees. Decker Tower is very square-like, and the signs on Decker Tower are facing towards you. If it's set in the present day, the square has obviously been evacuated, therefore Squid Kids and Octolings have moved over to Splatsville and Inkopolis. Except this one Octoling that I think is Agent 8. During the sneak peek, there were glimpses of photos that flashed on the screen, which gave us some extra information. So if you looked at them frame by frame, we can see what information they provided. The first image seems to be something blacked out with branches. I'm not entirely sure what it means, but it might have something to do with the coral, I don't know. The following image looks like the entrance of the new designed Decker Tower. After that, the next image looks like tentacles of some sort. I'm not sure what from, but who knows? Continued on, in my opinion, the next photo looks like flowing ink. After, this image looks like red ink on a wall. Following that, there's a very brief blurred photo of Pearl Marina. Pearl looks like she could be eating something, I cannot tell too well, whilst Marina is stood there with her. This image looks like coral, nothing too interesting there. Proceeding forward, the next shot is interesting. It's a blurred body shot of what I think is a Octoling whilst holding a weapon and either an ink tank or a new sub-weapon. This Octoling could be us or someone new. Next is someone's legs with a shadow of potentially an Inkling. I think this could be Agent 4 due to the ears being large. I think that could be the headphones they wear in hero modes in Splatoon 2. The next one has an Octoling crouched down surrounded by spikes. I don't know what this means myself, but it's fascinating. After that, there's a clear shot of Marina looking into the distance. Not sure why she's doing that, but it seems the obvious reasons that she may have a major role in the story. Next, it's the Octoling in a lift with someone else. The Octoling is looking at their reflection like they've never seen themselves before. Also, in the lift, I think there's Marie's foot. Based on the shoes, I still could be wrong about that, I don't know, but I think Marie is there, I have no idea. I could be wrong. Following on, the shot has what I'd assume is more coral, except on the ground. However, in the background it's very blurry, but there's someone in the distance walking away. I don't know why. Following this image is highly interesting. There's a giant room which has a lift. I'd take a guess this is inside of Decker Tower, but there's also a being in there. I don't think it's an octoling, but they have pointy ears, which I guess would be an inkling, but the head doesn't add up. It's definitely not Shiver either. Could this be someone new? Next is the octoling in a room with boxes. It reminds me of the Phase 3 escape sequence in the Octo expansion. This might be a flashback if this octoling is really Agent 8. Then there's a shot of something pulsating. This could be like fuzzy ooze from Alterna, except it's difficult to tell. Like I said about the Marina photo, there's a quick glimpse of Pill wearing her Damp Socks tour outfit with her shades on. I think this could be her being the one to introduce us at the start of the campaign. She is stood in Inkopolis Square as well. Then there's an image of what may be a salmonid. The eye makes me think of that anyway, but I'm not too sure. Continuing that, there's a room the octoling is stood in and what looks like could be Undertow Spillway, but I don't know. There's more coral there too. After that, the next image has the octoling looking at something in the distance. I don't know what it is, but they seem to be mesmerized by it. Next is a dark photo of something blurred out. This could be the teaser for the villain, but I don't know who that is. Could be Tartar from Octo Expansion, but I really don't think that is. Then there's an image of an octoling once again, except they're refusing to look at something. I don't know what that may be. It's probably something bad. Continued on, there's a shot of cloned octolings. This could be the process of hypnotizing octolings. Finally, there's the image of the octoling sat down staring into the distance once again. I'm not sure why. Okay, that was a huge explainer of what I think could be happening within those images they teased within the teaser. To cut it short, I think it's Agent 8 potentially remembering some of their memories, but they are stuck in Inkopolis Square. Pill and Marina will be there to help them along the way. There's a chance that Agent 4 could make an appearance, but that's a wild guess, and that's about the ideas I have. I really hope Marina or Agent 4 aren't the villains within the story. I'd hate to see that because I love them both. In my opinion, Side Order is very hard to decipher at this time, so hopefully we'll get a bit more information in the future, but as of right now, it's hard to tell. Overall, I'm very excited for Side Order to come out. It has so many unanswered questions, and I want to know why. With everything being explained and my thoughts given from my perspective, I'm extremely hyped about this DLC and cannot wait to find out more. I know some other people like ProChara has speculated there will be 2 extra waves based on this tweet, and it could be true. I'm not sure. I hope we see more information about Wave 1 within the Season 3 trailer at some point during this month, but who knows. I hope you all have enjoyed, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye bye!